Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's May 7th, and we're going to do a garden update. Today we're going to start the update at the lower garden. And for all y'all that's not used to seeing all the weeds in my gardens, this plot here, and it does have a lot of grass, but we figured we'd see how it would do. It's not doing fantastic because of a lot of nut grasses down here. We've kind of curtailed a little bit of it. Our sweet potatoes seem to be doing okay. They're taking hold. They are going to have to fight amongst the grass. Hopefully we'll still have a good crop of them. Our corn, we've laid it by. It's doing fairly good. It's a little spotty, but that's not too bad. It's older seed. It's not like we're really dependent on the crop. We've got a few things going on here. Hopefully it'll do good. Now our beans, they're not real big and they really are pale. Even though they've got fertilizer, this isn't all that great a thing. And you can see they're really putting on the blooms. Won't be long. We'll get some green beans. I don't know how great they'll be, but they are in amongst the grass. They're better at the other end. We have had a few issues down here with our watermelons. Now our cantaloupes and our honeydews and all that, they're doing okay. We do have honeybees flying around here, so that's always a good thing. Get some good pollination, and they're starting to vine out. Some of them doing better than others. It's probably about time to give them some water, being that it hadn't rained for a few days, and this ground is moist underneath, and hopefully the compost we put here has done some good. Our watermelons, we've had quite a few of some varieties that were taken out by the leaf cutters and such. What I've done is I just started some new seeds. There'll be a later crop, which will be fine. And we'll fill in these areas where there aren't any. Now, further down the row, we have our pumpkins, and most of them are doing pretty good. We've got a couple varieties. I'm trying to think. Well, I say pumpkin. This is the only pumpkin. This was a lady got Godive or whatever it is. This was the one that was supposed to be a good pumpkin for saving the seeds for, as far as if you wanted pumpkin seeds to eat. Now these here, I would call these pumpkins too, but they are actually a squash, the Seminole squash, which pumpkins are a variety of squash. So either way you want to call them. Some of these watermelons just really don't seem to be doing as well. They're just barely hanging in there, which that's fine. We'll see how it goes. This is not real fertile area. We did do some gardening down here the past couple years. We are having some issues, like I say, with our watermelons. This one here is just not cutting it. But anyway, we'll come and put some more in. That's kind of my thing, plant, and plant some more. We've got some potatoes that are starting to sprout, and that we saved some of the small ones from last year, and we said we'd use them for seed. And they're just now sprouting. They're sprouting real late. So what we're going to do is, I think once we till this again, we'll put them in and see how they fin being on their own. It's like I say, it's not a crop that we have to have. And now we'll go up to the potato patch. Now we're up here at the potato patch. Last Friday we dug just a few off into this row. There's my trusty guard dog. Uh, they're all looking good. We've got some that are yellowing. We did harvest one row of Yukon Golds today, and yesterday we did harvest one row of uh, La Sonata, or red Lesota, excuse me. Uh, there is a little more yellowing on them, uh, but most of these are still doing good. They've got a while before they've got to be taken out. We figure we'd take a row of each for the farmers market, and we'll go look at the harvest on them. Last year, our potatoes gave us about 2 bushels per row. This year, we've got 3 bushels off of the red ones, which we didn't grow them last year, and then we got 2.5 bushels off of the Yukon Golds. And here's the uh, potatoes that we got off those 2 rows. We've got them here in the shop. During the day, we run our shop fan on low across them, get them to dry out good, let the skins harden up a little bit, and then we'll just here tomorrow or the next day we'll take and rub off the dirt and get them packed for the farmers market on Saturday. It's definitely starting to warm up. It was supposed to be 88 today. It's over 90 now. Things are looking good. We're starting to get a few more flowers here in the garden. It's always nice to see sunflowers. We've got a bunch of different varieties. I'm getting ready to open on some of them. All our herbs are looking nice. We have a few potatoes coming up over there in our herb bed. Still no sign of turmeric. As you know, we've cleared out these onions. We need to get some planting here. We've got some more squash started, hoping that the beneficial nematodes are doing good. We've started to get just a few tomatoes. We're really doing good on our peppers. This Ozark Giants are starting to produce some. I wouldn't say they're giant, but they are pretty decent peppers. That's always good to see. We've got our jalapenos. Well, no, these are not jalapenos. These are our little Cajun bells. These are supposed to be spicy. We'll see how these turn out. And I think that we might pick some green just to see what they taste like. They're not really a full-size bell pepper, but they are nice. Now, our yellow wax beans are starting to put on their blooms. We've been coming through here just like normal. We get these little fast-running black caterpillars, and we've been smashing quite a few of them. We do see the moths running around. Now, we have got us a new hive. I wasn't going to do one this year, and we've started getting a lot of bees in the garden. They really love borage, so if you're going to try to draw bees in, borage is really a good crop. We've got some flowers here on our nasturtium, and of course there's a few there's zinnias and other ones that's blooming. Some don't look fantastic, but they are growing. That's all for the pollinators. But while we're out here, we ought to go ahead and harvest one tomato here. We'll take that. Might not be a big salad, but it will be a a tomato in there. They could probably go for a few more days, but we'll go ahead, take them in. A little green, but tomatoes, it's those first of the year tomatoes are really great to see. We are getting some peppers over here on our emerald giants, and like I say, I don't know if the emerald giant and the Ozark giants are different varieties, but you can see we've got a pepper down there, and these were put in quite a bit later because I didn't have seed for them. Our tomatoes are doing fantastic here. We're starting to get a lot of tomatoes on them. The okra over here is doing good. We are getting some bug damage. I don't worry too much with it, except when it starts coming to aphids. When the ants start mining aphids, it's time to get out the diatomaceous earth. But these are really doing good. I've lost all but one of my pumpkin plants here. When you come out and you can see we have eggs here, what I try to do is watch for them, and I just rub them. It may even rub a hole in the leaf, but that's the only way to deter and get them down a little bit less. It's you can come in here and spray all the time, say with neem oil or something, but it's just easy to try to deter a lot of them with taking and rubbing them down by hand. We have, like I say, we have quite a few tomatoes coming on in here, which is great. It's nice that we planted these really early, so we should get tomatoes early. This heat's definitely going to speed up the process. We've taken all our lettuce out here. It's starting to get hotter, so it dries out in the day, and once it droops, usually it's going to get bitter. And we've got to take some celery out of here. It's definitely going to seed, bolting up. We've got some young ones in there, but those older ones will need to come out. The asparagus is going wild. This is the process once it gets finished with the harvest, and we could have harvested a little bit longer, but once it gets finished with the harvest, you want to let those roots go ahead and shoot their stems up and feed those roots, give you a healthy plant, bigger asparagus. Now, I do come in here occasionally when I want some and maybe pick a few of them, and it doesn't affect them. Or hatch green chilies, they are really looking good. We've carried a few to the market this past week, and we'll have quite a few more this week because they're definitely getting into their production. The eggplants are doing pretty good. I've had to come in here and treat these with some spinosad and neem oil, get rid of these little flea beetles and stuff. Hopefully that's enough to take care of it. We are trying to keep up with the weeds. They definitely start taking off when it starts, everything else starts growing. Our tomatillas are going crazy. In fact, it's almost past the point to try to keep them contained. I will try to keep this smaller one up, but the bigger ones, and there's another buddy decided to, and he wants to hang on there. But that's the best way to take care of worms, is just watch. and we get a few every day. Now this is my newest pepper, my seeds that I had that I started with the rest of them. This is a Greek peperoncini, I think is the way you say that. If not, that's the way I said it. I have to get a couple more baskets, but we just put these out a couple of days ago, and they're coming in here strong. But yeah, the seed germinated real late, so it's going to take it a while. We're losing all our squash plants here, just slowly, one by one, and it's due to vine borers. We hope the nematodes population is coming up. We're going to start a new crop. Got the seeds planted. We've got our bok choy and our Mitchahili cabbage. It's doing good. I have to come in here and spray it. Looks like we've definitely got bug damage here. A lot of times we don't see it. There is something there. But anyway, that'll have to be dealt with. You can see this one here. This is what it looks like when those little black caterpillars come running down there. They'll just eat and then they'll move on. Now this was some more bok choy. Once it does like this, and I don't keep it watered good, it's no sense in planting. This will have to be taken and composted. Now we have our cucumbers they're producing. I have look like a little situation with one in here. Probably root knot, or not root knot, probably vine borers like the squash. We've still got our onions here, which are still bulbing up good. No signs of drooping on the top. Our garlic, I keep saying it's getting close to harvest, and it won't be long, be a few days. Maybe this might be the week, probably next week, and we'll go ahead and harvest it out. But we have been picking cucumbers. We picked this morning. We have quite a few coming on. We picked almost a bushel of cucumbers this morning, so I think we should have plenty for the farmers market this weekend. These onions in here are doing good. There's no sign yet of having to be harvested. And these onions are definitely ready. This week, some will go to the farmer's market. We'll go back up here, take a look at the leek. I actually forgot to pick leek this last week. And of course, I got certain customers that enjoys buying leek every week. And as you can see, it's starting to get a little more size, some more than other. It's getting past its baby leek stage. That's about an inch. So that'll be one of those that I'll remember this week. Our sunchokes, or Jerusalem artichokes, are really doing good, which is great. Now some of these squash, and I was going to take them out, and I'm going to have to fight grass, I guess, because of all this rain. It's going to come on quicker. But I was going to take these squash out. They were in the container for a long time, but they do seem to be actually starting to grab a hold now and go. So that's a good thing. But yeah, we'll have plenty of pickling sized cucumbers and some slicers at the farmer's market this weekend. Yes, these onions they're not going to be the best for storage onions, but they should do good. All of our varieties of tomatoes are setting fruit. Now this here is the Super Sweet 100, which it's definitely putting on. We've got plenty of squash, harvesting plenty of squash, and it just seems like it grows like crazy because she harvested this morning, and this one definitely it'll need to come out of there. Also, our peppers are doing good. These are not pinos. This week we'll be able to harvest some of these. This will be the first harvest of those for the people that don't like a real hot pepper. The tomatillos, we're forming some. We're still a ways from harvesting them. I always say tomatillos remind me so much about like ground cherries. All our other tomatoes are doing good. Our Martian Giants, they're starting to size up. They're not ready to get ripe yet. These here are banana peppers, and they're doing good. We've harvested a bunch of them. And let's see, this is paprikas over here. And of course, we don't pick them till they get red, but you can see they're loaded up with peppers. So won't be long. They'll be changing, and we'll be picking some of them. We did plant quite a few. I don't know that we really need that much paprika this year, but we're letting them go. Now these here are cayennes. They are loaded up. These are the large cayennes, so it's a bigger pepper. And of course, there's plenty of them on there, but they hadn't started changing yet, but it won't be long. More tomatoes down here. I think these are, now I don't know what variety these are. We do have a tag at the end. It helped to read it, I guess. These are celebrities. We did put in a few of them. And I think these over here are our Rutgers. And they're doing pretty good. And we do have a stray one that come on its own. And it's doing pretty good. Now these in here are ghost peppers. The plants are doing pretty good. No sign of blooming yet, but it won't be long. These were actually, and when you buy seeds, your source a lot of times is important because there's some people that just aren't, not say they're unscrupulous, but these are not Carolina Reapers. These were some that I bought from someone, I think off of Amazon, and it's a hot pepper, but it's not the Reaper. Over here, let's see if I can. Oh, these are Sugar Rush here, and we've been starting to pick them. They're getting ready. Nice and ripe. Our Poblanos are doing real good. They're starting to get a little bit of size on them. Just starting to maybe turn a little bit dark. I don't know if we'll have any of these ready for the market this week. I always let them start darkening up before I pick them. Give them good flavor. So we'll have to see. More cucumbers down here. These are a couple weeks behind the other ones. They are producing. We've picked off of them, but they're not producing quite as well as the others. Now let's see what to make. Yeah, this is the Rutgers over here. and they're doing good. And I think those others were, but they probably weren't Rutgers. It was another variety. Then we have our shishito peppers. They're starting to produce. They're starting to get loaded up. We picked about 3 of them last week, but we should have a bit more this week. But like I say, these cucumbers in here, and they hide. I just seen one when I walked over, and now I don't see it, but they are producing. They're doing pretty good. Won't be long. They get shaded earlier in the evening, so they might actually last just a little bit longer as the temperatures warm up. Our lemon drop peppers, or not lemon drop melons. That's the second time I said that today. They're doing good. They're starting to take hold and branch out. Now we had one that I did pull out today, and these are our new snowcap beans. They've really taken off. Now this is a pole bean. We had to rush up and get our little fence trellis up here so they have something to grab a hold of, which that'll be a good thing. But I've started to see a few female flowers on here. I don't know if they got pollinated. The fruit's looking like it probably got pollinated there. They didn't do well. A couple years ago, I planted them in where the potatoes are, back when we had that fenced off still. And they really didn't take and do very well. Our globe artichoke still in there, no blooms yet. Now, funny thing this year with my roselle, and now roselle is day length sensitive, so it normally doesn't bloom until late. Now you can see I'm kind of shaded. Maybe I can step back where you can see we got sunlight here, but we've got shade there, and that was the intent on these to get them to bloom quicker, was because once we got leaves on our tree line, it would shade them and shorten the day on them. But the thing is that's strange this year is, if you can see right here, there's a little red bloom. These are starting to put little blooms on, and this is early. This is May. You can see more right here where we got little red blooms coming on. So this might be a bumper crop of roselle calyxes to harvest. We'll just have to see. Our blueberries are doing good. They're hanging in there. I have put some poles by some of them and going to tie them up. I had mentioned that I needed to do that. Now, those of you, we're going to talk about rhubarb here while we're out here. These leaves are gigantic. Now, I do water them. When I water the greenhouse, I give them extra water. I need to get down here and get some shade cloth up, because it won't be long. They will not be able to take that sun. Our cowhorn peppers, they're getting loaded up. We may harvest a few, but really we need to let them start turning red. Now our okra over here is not doing as well as the okra on the other side. It is doing good, but not quite as well, and it could be that it gets more shade longer, and like I say, it doesn't get the morning sunlight as well. Our tobacco is really doing good. We've been having to keep caterpillars off. You can see what the damage they do, and they just eat and move on, and then come back, eat and move on, and so it kind of makes it hard to take care of them. We harvested a few beets last week, just a couple of bunches of both. We'll probably Get a few more this week. They're they're not looking as pretty now with the leaves, but a lot of people don't cook the leaves, and we try to pull off most of the ones that are sickly. Our deal is coming to flower head perfect time. This is what a lot of dill pickle preservers want. They want that big flower head so they can put that in there with them. And definitely, we've got a bunch of them for them to use this week. This is my little 42-day tomato. It sat in the pot a little bit too long, but I did put it out. Of course, we're still getting strawberries. We've been trying to move these runners into positions where we want them, and then we'll cut them loose. And the ones like the parent plant, this one here is putting off runners, but the parent plant is not producing. We'll take it out and we'll let another runner run over there and take its place. So it's kind of a systematic deal. We have been harvesting our chamomile, and the smell in the morning time is great. You see this white moth here? Yeah, this is the culprit for the caterpillars. At least that's what my wife tells me, and you know you don't argue with your wife. So we have a new batch of squash and pumpkin that we've got going on here. We'll put this is some zucchinis, and then we have the prolific straight necks that are getting messed up, and then we've got some Jardel, and we've got some mesquite, or however you pronounce that. It's doing good. My little right there, my little red pears hanging in there. These are my unconventional potatoes here. This was my French fingerlings. They just had little seeds. It's taken them quite a while to start coming up. A few of them are coming up though. The carrots are doing all right, but we have been seeing a lot of caterpillar damage to them. And we've got a few fig trees still in here. These are radishes. Now, radishes in the greenhouse, it always seems to have to be a little leggy with the shade cloth. Or cilantro, it should do good for a little bit longer in here. This is was cut Friday, and you can see already that it's really trying to come back. All our citrus trees are doing good. Our next crop of spinach is really doing good. Let's see if we can hop over a row here, and we can look at our beets. They're kind of trying to form beets. We pick out some here and there, and hopefully we'll get a few bundles for the market this weekend. This is my Persian lime, and it's loaded up with limes all over it. It's doing good. This is one of my Meyer lemons. It's got a pretty good amount of lemons for how little it is. Same thing with the one next to it. It's doing good. Now we do have a few cabbages left. We didn't take any to the market because I still have to make some sauerkraut, and I'm trying to let them get a little bit bigger. I know that when they're really this small, the flavor really isn't there. Now we put a row of green beans in the greenhouse. This variety, it's a Tenderette. It tastes as good as the Blue Lake, and I really like Blue Lake. And it's got a longer harvest time. It'll keep blooming longer than the Blue Lakeland. So hopefully they'll do real good and the heat won't bother them. Our parsley's doing great. And of course, we still have chives. Now, I'm always planting seeds. It's succession planting. This here is actually deal. It's at the point that I'll probably go ahead and put it out as soon as I get my row kind of figured out here in the greenhouse. It's going in here. And this is my next succession planting of cilantro. So it's doing good. And of course, we got a few purple coneflowers in there. This squash here is it was some crookneck. It's not going to do that well. I had some loofahs, and if I don't get these put out, they're going to be the same problem. I just have a issue of where to put them. Might put them in the lower garden and string up a little fence. But I did want to grow loofahs this year. But anyway, I think pretty much that's the way our garden's looking. It's doing real good. Bananas, still no flowers. That'd be exciting when they do start popping out. But I do have a lot of pups coming off of here. We've got one there. That's 2, 3, 4. And we got one over here, makes 5. So actually that makes 6. I don't guess I can count. But anyway, 6 pups. We're going to take some of these off and pot them up. These will go in the new greenhouse. We're just about ready to level the ground on that. We're burning up the last of the limb. Now these pots here, I don't really talk too much about. These are all avocados. I know I said I wasn't going to grow no more avocados, but I'm doing this method different just to try and see how these come up. These avocados were actually, I didn't even take the seed out. I got some, I'd say the rotten food section at Kroger's where they bag up a bunch of them. And I took and bought some of those. They're real mushy. They weren't going to be good to eat, but I said I'm going to plant these in the outer husk. I just took and put 4 slits down the side so it'd make it easier for roots and stuff to come out if it did start to grow. And I'm going to see how these do on a more natural way of germination. But anyway, that's the process there. It will take them a little while to germinate anyway. But that's where we're sitting. Everything is looking good. Everything is growing in green. Those of you that's up north, I know you're getting to where a lot of you's already started your gardens. A few of you might still be waiting for a little later in this month. And hopefully you'll be successful in that gardening experience. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this update. If you want to see more, of course, and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, select all. Give it a big thumbs up, share this video. Enjoy that gardening experience.